I waited all day for the store update just to be shorted one slot. This honestly might be worse than McDonald's shorting me a chicken nugget. Hey guys, Nightfall here, and if you thought all I do is glaze XDefiant, then this is the video for you. Bookmark it, share it, turn it into a bunch of shorts. I don't care what you do with it. Things need to be talked about with this game. And what I want to talk about is just kind of the state of the game as of early November 2024, as if we even need to date it, because who knows if it'll make it to November 2025 at this point. We're now 2 seasons in, 5 months post-release, and the game is falling to pieces from the inside out. Now, all of this is just based on my experience and things that I've seen others say, so your experience may differ a bit, but overall you should be able to see and understand the things I'm talking about and where I'm coming from. Let's start with the gameplay. The game seems less fun, probably because of how much time I've sunk into it and how much grinding I've done, but I just don't have the urge to play like I used to. I think I can kind of attribute this to my camo grind being done, but I still have a few weapons to level up and stuff and even get a few to level 500 before I've actually completed it. But before I've gotten all the requirements for it done, I started feeling this way a few days before that. Everything seemed to go downhill after the Halloween update. I started getting slightly more annoyed with teammates doing stupid things, and there was hardly any new content, just a few skins and emotes. On top of that, they gave us arguably the worst game mode we've ever seen and didn't even limit it to smaller maps where at least you have a chance of getting the 100 kills you need. The hit reg, to me at least, feels worse than it ever has. I'm talking half of an entire mag going through people, saw blades going through people, not doing any damage, and it just sucks. Now, people over in the Call of Duty community might call that skill-based damage, but that is honestly the biggest load of shit I've ever heard anyone say. Skill-based damage. Really? It's hit reg issues and netcode. The same thing XDefiant has struggled with since it released. The same thing Call of Duty has always struggled with, at least the ones that I've tried out. The only difference is COD is an established franchise and people don't want to believe that it's still trash after 15 plus years, so they're huffing the copium, saying skill-based damage. It's fucking netcode issues, for crying out loud. Stop with this skill-based damage bullshit. That doesn't even make any sense. So I'm not even going to devote a whole video to that. Let's pause right here and talk about that, because it's going to take me all of 30 seconds to debunk everything. People are saying it always seems like it's specific people. Well, probably because their fucking ping is through the roof. Probably because they're not connected through blazing fast fiber internet like you are. It's not skill-based damage. It's netcode issues. Just leave it alone. But back to XDefiant. The servers are empty. I play the same people over and over, so I guess all those people who wanted the disbanding lobbies to stop kind of got what you wanted in a way. The netcode, though some people say it feels better than it has ever, has felt the same to me for the last 2 or 3 months. The store has just been reused and recycled content, split up bundles and recolors for months, and now the day of making this video, we got a new store refresh, and they couldn't even be bothered to fill in all the slots. Like, we are so down bad right now that they can't even be fucked to throw in a recolor to fill up the store anymore. Post-edit Nightfall here to tell you and show you that eventually they added another skin. Seems like they just forgot. Go figure. But let's get back to the video. Speaking of the store, the supporter creator code has been the same creators who I've either never heard of or have left the game a long time ago, or a combination of both. And don't think I say that out of jealousy or anything, because at this point, I honestly don't know if I want a code, and we'll get into that in just a moment. But those are all the things just in the game that are in shambles right now. It's truly sad to see that such a great game was so underfunded and so mismanaged. And you can't even use the excuse anymore that Ubisoft doesn't have the resources, because all of the crap going on in the background that you don't even see. They've apparently been working on a whole other game this whole time and just launched it without so much as a tweet. The game I'm talking about is called Champions Tactics, and it's just a straight up NFT game. They must be living in the past because NFTs are long gone. So instead of supporting and marketing your other games that have been struggling, this is what you've been doing. Are you fucking kidding me? And now more and more content creators are leaving the game and saying they're done playing it until they add more stuff to it. And I can't blame them. What is it going to take for XDefiant and the developers to see that this game has potential, and yet people are just leaving and you're letting them leave? But all that aside, let's talk about the XDefiant community. Things kind of in the game, but a lot of outside the game as well. And when I say XDefiant community, I mean the top 1%, or the clique, as I like to call them. These are some of the most toxic. Actually, no, you know what? I'm not even going to call them toxic because I don't even think they're smart enough to be toxic. They're just genuinely stupid people. I played a few ranked games the other day against a player by the name of Twitch Kicks, which you can see in the screenshot here. After losing back-to-back games against this person, I ended up finding out that it was Lycan on some random account. Is it a Smurf account? Somebody else's account? Who knows? It looks like someone else's account that he's leveling up, because if you look up this person on Twitch, it looks like they stream. But for any of you watching who don't know who Lycan is, all you need to know is he is one of the top ranked players in this game. I believe he's like top 3 the last time I checked the leaderboards. And what does he choose to do with his time? This. Stomping on rubies and golds and hoping that me as an emerald can somewhat compete. But at least he wasn't a complete jackass about it. In fact, when I had him up on stream, he showed some semblance of remorse, saying he didn't want to keep solo queuing through these lobbies because he was just stomping everyone. And he's right. Regardless of the fight I put up, stomped right through me. So I took to the streets of Twitter to vent, voice my frustration, as most people do these days, and just to show people that the game is already unplayable to an extent, and things like this will just keep pushing more and more people away. I really don't know how many times I have to say this for people to understand. But you can't let your frustrations out on Twitter without someone who thinks they're better than everyone else chiming in. So cue Savnatra, a player who has already been permabanned on XDefiant on his main account for reasons unknown, which doesn't make any sense, but we'll address that in just a second. But he chimed in and said the same thing that every one of these players have always said as their excuse. You just expect us to not play ranked? And then in so many words, just told me to get good. Well, FYI, getting good is hard to do when you have someone going 9-55 on your team. It's not their fault they're going 9-55 when they're playing the number 3 person in the world. Had we had one more decent teammate, I think we stood a much better chance of winning that game. But this screenshot proves it all. These top ranked players aren't even playing ranked for the competition. Lycan, on whoever's account this is, isn't even playing objective. He's just on a mission to kill people and get a high kill game in ranked. He barely has any objective score, and the score he does have was possibly just him killing my entire team as he walked through the objective, or him passing on his way through it to kill someone else that just spawned. But back to the main clown. He followed up his first reply with the smoothest of smooth brain shit you could possibly ever say. Bro said, "I'm just nowhere near their level." Talking about me. I'm nowhere near their level, meaning his level and Lycan's level. No shit. I've never claimed to be near his level. Never claimed to even be legend material. I know I'm not the best, hence why I'm fucking emerald and playing with rubies. But that's the whole point. The problem here is that you have a legend disguised as a ruby crashing the lobby because, like he said, we're just nowhere near their level, and that's not competition. That's just a slaughterfest. He should not be in those lobbies. But then to put the icing on the cake, dude came back with this reply. Stop saying you, meaning me, talking about him regarding smurfing, because he doesn't smurf. But this whole time, he's been including himself of his own volition, putting himself with Lycan. Swear this dude's on galaxy gas or something, because he is straight up tripping. But let's break him down for a second, since he wanted to insert himself into this whole thing. As I mentioned previously, he's been banned before on his main account, permabanned. He cannot log back onto it and play XDefiant. So now he's playing on a Smurf account technically, or an alt account, which is why his name now has Savnatra with 2 A's. You know who else's main account was banned? Kainuru. You know what else happened with all of his new accounts that he tried to make? They got banned. So why is this guy's account not banned? Because he's friends with one of the developers, and you'll never guess who. He plays with that person often, and he's apparently, from what I've been told, very close with him. So someone you play with often and are very close with, and you still don't know why your main account was banned. Something just doesn't add up with the whole situation. Not to mention, he's a Ubisoft partner. So a Ubisoft partner gets their main account permabanned from the game, is allowed to keep their partner status, and continue playing the game. Again, just seems off. But a quick glance at his new montage video that he posted on Twitter a couple days ago showed this clip. So I've slowed it down to about, I don't know what it was, 0.2 of the normal speed, or 0.2%. But a few things that we want to notice here. I know aim assist is very strong, but with him not targeting anyone at the start of this encounter, and he still has 0 recoil when shooting a wall, then he was able to pull perfectly right, again with no recoil, all the way to the person that he wanted to shoot at. But that might not even be the most suspect part of that clip. For those of you who don't play linear style maps, this is Midway, and that wall he snaps to for no apparent reason, which, by the way, he blamed on stick drift, that wall goes straight back to the defender spawn area. I've even drawn you a little diagram so you can visualize it. The blue area is where the defender spawn zone is until they capture zone C. The green line is the direct line of sight of where he was aiming from and to. So you see, it goes straight back to their spawn area. Again, very suspicious. But of course, I'm not saying he's cheating. I'm just giving you the pieces and letting you put together your own puzzle. But I feel like I should mention again, he's a Ubisoft partner, permabanned, getting to keep his partner status, and then his entire attitude towards the lower ranked players in this community is just insane. If that's what Ubisoft is looking for in a partner, then my DMs are closed. I want no part of that community at all. I don't care if it stops me from getting to do cool things, or if it stops me from getting to see a new season a week early. I don't want to associate with those kind of people. But I hope this rant video will give you all a place in the comments to vent your frustrations with what's been happening with XDefiant over the last, I don't know, month or so. Do you really think XDefiant can get it together? Because the ship is getting more holes than they can patch, and it's starting to sink. I want them to turn it around because it has so much potential, but I don't know anymore. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on the state of the game and just everything else I talked about, and I'll catch you in the next upload.